maybe the real advance of current forensic shows is they found a way of making science exciting in a televisual way. It's the kind of stuff that if you'd put it on the Open University, you know, people would have started yawning at. Yeah, but now they found a way of presenting facts, knowledge, random stuff in a sort of exciting manner.
We feel we know these places somehow because we've seen them on telly so much. The kind of the aluminium scrubbed down surfaces, the big perspex board upon which they pin their photographs. Those conversations that take place bathed in this strange blue light. It's become a realm with which we're all weirdly familiar, and yet none of us have ever been there, whereas we'd all been in police stations. You know, when we watch Z-Cars and Juliet Bravo, most of us in our lives have had some cause to go to a police station and just sit in the waiting room to know what a police man or woman standing behind a desk looked like. But this is some much more mysterious world.
We'd come a long way since the days of Marius Goring and Quincy, but one thing hasn't changed. You always need a body.
You make a contract with the reader or the viewer when you're doing a crime drama that this is going to be high stakes. This is going to be literally a matter of life and death. And so I think that's one of the reasons why we need to have the dead body.
Thanks to the forensic dramas, the body business is booming, and the demand for realism higher than ever.
I think the viewers are getting very scary nowadays. There's an awful lot of people out there now who are quite knowledgeable about deaths, wounds, autopsies. They won't let us get away with murder. We have to, if it doesn't look real, then we have to sculpt it to make it look real. Sam Ives is a silicone painter, is a hair puncher, and she's putting in the hairs individually, one by one, with an absolutely tiny needle. If you don't do that, you can't get the direction. You can do the crowns on the head. You know, if the head is a fully punched head, you can do it with the swirls, and you can shave it back. It's that good. And Con over here is he's doing painting and siliconing finish. You mix oil paint with a liquid silicone, and apply it to the silicone surface, which means it bonds and it etches to the surface, and it won't come off when it's handled. We've actually had Tom Ward, who is one of the lead actors on Silent Witness, who's a fantastic guy. He had his hand, he forgot, he put his hands on one of the bodies and apologised because it felt so real under his hand, and the shock on his face. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Pauline's bodies are fantastic, and actually the best testament for that was one of our consultant pathologists, Ben Swift, came in, and one of the bodies was lying on a slab, and Ben was kind of feeling it with enormous kind of pleasure, and he wobbled its head, and he went, "Look at that." He went, "That won't mean anything to you, but that's just so perfectly weighted."
The guy behind me is called William Byfield, and he will be in a forthcoming episode of Silent Witness. He's died. He's been poisoned. Oh, I can't remember. Is he cyanide? Sorry, hang on, hold on for a second. Carbon monoxide, but was it deliberate? Or did he kill himself? He's made of silicone, a platinum silicone, which is very soft and very realistic. You have to get a life cast of the actor, then a resculpt, then mould it, cast it, seam it, paint it, finish it, hair punch it. Initially, he was a full figure, and we had to make a cavity inside because they have to remove the liver in order to see the effects of the carbon monoxide poisoning.
It always strikes me as strange that these shows are so enormously popular in mainstream terms because they are so outrageously gory.
I think we are definitely in an age of forensic pornography. Those elaborately recreated images of human viscera, intestines, tissue.
I don't call this gore. I call this more just realism. You know it's a dummy of some kind, but you have to believe in it. And by doing all of that, by making the actors' reactions to the body that much better, you can linger on them longer.
There have been occasions which you can't really tell till you see it finished, because you don't know the way it's going to be edited, where I thought they've lingered on that for the wrong reasons, or they've returned to that for the wrong reasons. I think it really doesn't happen very often. And I have nothing against showing the explicitness of some of these very graphic moments, but I think you have to do it it's just like the filming of violence. Actually, there is good ways of doing it, and there are exploitative ways of doing it, and it really depends on the individual director.
The British shows had given us the body on the slab. Now we were invited inside.
You see,